So, continuing in thinking about the order of operations in how you simplify or solve an expression, there's again a specific order in which this needs to happen of doing these operations. So, the song can help you. This sort of image over here may also be helpful if you're sort of a visual type of thinker. So, we can use the song to create this visual to help us solve order of operations problems. So the rules say they are always going to start at the top, right? You're always going to say grouping symbols, grouping symbols. So that's something like parentheses or brackets, for instance, right? Sometimes people will just say P for parentheses, but you will notice as you kind of continue along in challenging your sort of understanding of order of operations, you'll see there can be parentheses inside of parentheses or parentheses inside of brackets. So grouping symbols, exponents, exponents. So you're going to look and solve all of the exponents or simplify all of the exponents within your expression. And then you're going to multiply, divide, left to right. So it's almost like Cupid shot his arrow right through the multiply, divide. We always go in left to right order in how they appear inside of the expression. And then add, subtract, left to right. So this will be subtract, left to right. So let's do that, right? Let's do another example together. So if we kind of break down this example that you're given, you're always going to be starting with something, crossing out as you simplify, and then dropping down everything you haven't yet used. So if we have this example here, we know that parentheses are what we're going to look for first. So grouping symbols, grouping symbols. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So this 3 plus 4 became a 7. And then we drop down everything we haven't used. You'll see here that 5 touching the parenthesis, we have 7 inside the parenthesis, implies multiplication. So you'll see that 5 parentheses 7 and 5 dot 7 or 5x7 are all the same thing. It all means 5 times 7. 5, 7 times. So we have dropped down everything we haven't used. Grouping symbols. Do we have any more? Nope. So let's move to the next thing. Exponents, exponents. Okay, we're going to look for exponents. We have some. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 to the third power next. So we're going to simplify that and turn it into an 8. Okay, so we're going to cross that out and make that an 8. Drop down everything we haven't used. So 5 times 7 minus 8 times 4. And then we're going to say exponents, exponents. Do we have any more? Nope. So let's move to the next layer. Multiply, divide. So multiply, divide, left to right. So we have 2 sets of multiplication. We're going to start on the left, 5 times 7, and call that no longer a 5 times 7, we'll call it a 35. Drop down everything you haven't used. Okay, so now we have multiply, divide. We still have multiplication, so let's do the next one. So we have 8 times 4. We're not going to call it an 8 times 4 anymore. We're going to call it a 32. So we now have 35 minus 32. And then add, subtract, left to right. So 35 minus 32, we're no longer going to call it a subtraction problem. We're just going to call it 3. So we've simplified by using the order of operations to solve in a very specific order these set operations, dropping down everything we haven't used as we've simplified just one part. So making sure to drop it down and stay tidy is going to help you be more accurate. Even if it feels slower in the beginning, it'll help you be more accurate in the end because you won't miss any little subtle operations or like a negative sign, for instance. So making sure to drop it all down as you go. That is the order of operations. We'll have a few more examples if you are curious or want to do a few more together in some other videos.